Coming up next on We Are Marshall Today, Marshall University welcomes dozens of employers for its annual career fair.
Plus, social media sites are changing the way the world communicates. We'll show you how Marshall University is taking advantage of these changes. These stories and more up next on We Are Marshall Today. Hello and welcome to We Are Marshall Today. I'm Bill Bissett.
And I'm Leah Edwards. Marshall University hosted its annual career fair earlier this month, and it attracted dozens of employers.
Leah, employers say despite the down economy, they are still hiring. More from Whitney Parsley.
More than 75 employers were on Marshall University's Huntington campus earlier this month, hoping to connect with future employees. Despite the slow economy, many employers like Enterprise say they're still looking for quality people.
We're looking to fill several positions, and we're always hiring for interns, junior, senior level students, kind of on the business management track, but are very interested in sales and marketing. And then about 90% of our interns actually come full-time on board with Enterprise once they graduate. So it's a great program for us to kind of facilitate people in on the internship position.
Marshall University senior accounting major Adam Harlow is one of those potential new employees. Armed with his resume and sporting a professional look, Harlow said he's ready for the real world.
I'd love to get a job with a public accounting firm because that is my major, and I would love to get a job with a public accounting firm that I could work for right out of college and be able to go in and be a place I like, hopefully somewhere in the area.
Another student who hopes to stay in the area is biomedical science major Miranda Holtzhauer.
I want to be a doctor, so I was looking for different hospitals around the area because I want to stay in West Virginia. So I was looking for different opportunities to get involved now so that I can build a relationship with those hospitals.
Marshall's annual fall career fair generally attracts hundreds of students, but this time there were dozens of community members among the job seekers. Milton resident Kate Johnson says the job market is tight, so she's trying to network as much as possible.
It's been tough. It's not like people are handing out jobs left and right. It's a bit of a challenge. You know, I don't want to settle for some job that I'm not going to be happy with. I'm really, trying to make some contacts and good connections to see what's out there and what I can get.
Marshall University's Career Services sponsor the career fair. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Whitney Parsley.
Joining us now is Denise Hogsett from our Career Services office here at Marshall University. Denise, thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Love to be here.
I see more and more of your office around campus and all of our campuses, because I think traditionally we think of career services as the people who, once our students go across that stage and get that diploma, you help them transition from the university to the marketplace. But really, you're communicating with them throughout that entire college experience. When you consider not just traditional students, what we think of as the people transitioning from high school to college, but the non-traditional, the returning students, how do you communicate with all these different folks effectively?
Well, when I first came in, we decided we really needed to bring in career services. We needed to kind of change our image. So we looked at all the marketing aspects. So we wanted to not only be on the radio and TV, which this helps greatly, and we do appreciate being here. But we do the Parthenon, and this year we did something different. We had the peel-off sticker so students could save that. They could put it on the refrigerator, they could put it in their daytime or wherever they could put that to remember. We also have Facebook presence. We have been doing YouTubes and putting them on our webpage. We've revamped our webpage. So we're trying to really communicate with students in every aspect wherever they are, 24/7 if they want to go online. We also have job tracks, and that's, again, a 24/7 access through the internet. It's easy to register. It's easy to find out what's going on.
And now, what kind of costs to our students for these services?
Well, this is all free, and we do see alumni free also. Our current students are our priority, but when we have alumni come in, if we're able to see them on a walk-in basis, we will do that. If not, we will schedule an appointment.
Excellent. Well, obviously with the economy, we have a very competitive job market. I often tell students even though I had a background in the media, with a master's degree, it took 10 months to find my first job. It can be very challenging depending on your background and what type of job you're looking for. We were talking earlier, it's even more competitive right now. And how do you give someone that advantage?
Well, there are many ways that we really try to talk to students and explain to them about how do I develop a career plan. And really it starts when they're a freshman and they really have to really think about what is the end result, as we talked before. But we try to give them strategies. And the biggest strategy that they can learn while they're here at Marshall University is networking. Is really trying to connect with professors, connect with internships that will give them that experience when they're out there working in the job of their dreams, hopefully, to find that connection. This is really what I want to do. And many of those internships turn into jobs because sometimes companies will say, well, I think I want to try an internship to see how a student will work out, and they'll say, hey, I really like this student, we want to hire this student. So networking, internships, and just developing a strategy and being aware that, like you said, last year we were telling him 3 months to find a job. Wow. Now we're saying 6 months and probably 10 months to a year. We're just finding that it's more difficult. But the jobs are out there, and education does pay. We are seeing that unemployment rates among those who have higher education is lower than those who do not. So that four-year degree, that graduate degree, is really going to pay off now in this market. Even though I was reading an article that it said 6.3 unemployed workers are applying for that one job that's available. Wow. But if you have that four-year degree, it definitely is going to give you a leg up.
And set you apart.
Oh, yeah.
Outstanding. So the value's still there. But I know in other people, you communicate obviously with students and alumni, like you mentioned, but you also communicate with employers. How do you make those? I mean, it must be similar networking, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you do have to network, and we do reach out to them. We have a liaison in our office that's her goal. Is to meet with employers, make sure that they're at our career fair, make sure that they're posting jobs on job tracks, and if they can't come to a career fair, can they come on campus? What can we help them do to brand themselves on campus? Because if you think about it, employers really need to be here. Their name needs to be branded just like our name needs to be branded. So we help them do that.
Interesting. Well, I know when I speak with students, I often tell them you spent all this effort and money and time to get this degree. Spend a large amount of time working on that resume and interview skills, etc. When students come to you, what are their concerns? I mean, obviously the economy must terrify them to a certain degree, but what are their concerns and how do you help them?
Well, I think one big question is, what do I do with my degree now that I have it? What is it that I can do with my degree? And we try to give them options. We want to have them have Plan A, which is probably the dream job. This is really, really, really what I want to do. But then talk about Plan B and C if A doesn't happen. So we talk about what could you do if you can't do A. And temporary positions, we talk about that. You may have to take a temporary position or keep the position you're in and then work into a better position from there.
Outstanding. Well, and again, with those internships, one of the things I always think about, you're not just learning possibly a job, you're learning you might not want to. This may not be the right career field, and then maybe a graduate degree becomes a necessary step to take you to that position that you're wanting.
Well, that four-year degree just gives you so many options. I mean, I'm a speech pathologist, but now I'm director of career services. So just having that good foundation, the ability to communicate, having some of those soft skills as leadership skills that you can get here at Marshall University just by joining organizations and volunteering, you can really add value to a company with that four-year degree.
Outstanding. Do you find students are pretty patient, or are they, May comes and I'm graduating and I want to have a job the next week?
Well, they learn to be patient, and I think sometimes students wait till the last minute, which then makes them, they don't have the time. Sure. So they have to be patient at that point. But, we want them to think early. And I think thinking earlier will keep that fear kind of away, and it will give them some patience.
Outstanding. I often say that a degree is like a bridge. It is not the destination, it's what's going to take you to where you want to go.
Right.
So it sounds like that's what you're, at an early time, when they're freshmen, start thinking at that point.
That's correct. And just, get that experience. And there's so much here at the university that can help them grow in so many ways. It's not just your major, but there are just so many other things that you can do to help you build those soft skills that employers are needing.
Outstanding. So it really goes beyond the classroom in many ways.
Yes, it does. It does. And we offer many opportunities here. I think we have strong student government, strong organizations that people can become involved in and really show their leadership skills.
If students and alumni want to contact your office, what's the best way to do that?
Well, job tracks. We talked about how there's a little comment there. They can send me an email directly, call our office at 696-2370, email me directly. We're really into customer service, and we want them to contact us and let us know their concerns and questions.
Outstanding. Well, Denise, you're doing great work. I hear about career services everywhere I go, and wish you keep up the effort.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll try.
Excellent. Thanks, Denise. Up next, do you Facebook or tweet? Stay with us for an update on Marshall's connection to the cyber world. We'll be right back with more We Are Marshall today.
Marshall University has done so very much for me. There's more than Matthew McConaughey, and if you ask me what I'll say.
Listen, coming from 6 hours away, Marshall University has become a home away from home for me. It's an incredible place to learn, and take it from me, there's never a dull moment.
Today it's been kind of boring. Just trying to annoy each other, kill the time, kill the boredom.
My company's downsizing. I thought it'd be in my best interest to go back to school. But as busy as I am, commuting was not going to be an option. But with MU Online, I can take classes anywhere.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
Marshall University has launched a series of campus conversations to gather input for a future academic plan. Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Gail Ormiston, says the conversations are scheduled throughout the year.
What we're trying to do is to establish priorities that will go into an academic master plan that will guide us in the development of our ideas and our actions related to student recruitment, faculty recruitment, development of academic programs, and really finding the financial resources needed to support those three areas.
The next discussion is scheduled for October 27th. For information, contact the Office of Academic Affairs. Marshall University's Graduate School of Education has a new dean. Dr. Teresa Eagle was most recently coordinator of Marshall's doctoral programs in education. She spent the early part of her career in secondary education and was named West Virginia's Teacher of the Year in 1989.
Faculty, staff, and students hoping to keep themselves healthy were given the opportunity through the university's annual Health and Wellness Fair. Student health education programs hosted the event in conjunction with PEIA. The fair offered health screenings, information, and demonstrations. Coordinator Amy Saunders says the fair is a convenient way for folks in the Marshall community to access important health screenings. Marshall University's band, the Marching Thunder, has a new place to call home. The marching band will now occupy space in the Cam Henderson Center, which was previously used as an auxiliary gym. The new area gives the band a place to prepare for marching season, which includes all Marshall football games. The facility was dedicated during homecoming weekend. Homecoming 2009 featured dozens of activities, including the annual parade and a car bash to benefit WMUL Radio. Former professional football great Troy Brown served as the Grand Marshal for the parade, which was on a weeknight this year. Organizers say the Thursday evening parade allowed for more community involvement. Other homecoming events included the dedication of a jobs kiosk in the lobby of Corbley Hall and the naming of Mr. and Ms. Marshall during the halftime of Saturday's game. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are all names of new media, but they deliver an age-old commodity, information.
Bill, keeping up with all those updates has Marshall's webmaster quite busy.
The growth of the internet and its ancillary products and services continues to expand exponentially. Much of the development has been in what's called social media. Sites like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and YouTube have millions of users.
We try to provide information that can be pushed out to these users where they're at and not make it so hard for them to have to come and find that information and dig for it. If you get it right in front of them, then you can augment it with additional information that you have at your own site or other places that you want to direct those users to for more detail.
Cummings says Marshall University currently is on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, but he's always analyzing user trends.
You see patterns, usage patterns among your incoming students. You see usage patterns even among your faculty and staff that can help identify where the popular sites are and where they're going to be. And you see also business following the same technology trends. The corporations use the same sort of technology to communicate with their shareholders, to communicate with their employees, and so you just try to go where the users are going to be and make your presence available where those large groups of users are.
Viral marketing is the dissemination of information through social media sites. It continues to grow, and Cummings says it's absolutely the way to market a message.
The way people consume information is really changing, and I think that's really true, and it's going to continue to change. You're going to see it ultimately gravitate from the web to what will be a much more mobile interaction. A lot of it will be consumed on phones or on handheld devices, and even that the speed with which that information is transmitted will increase, and it's only going to increase from there.
Experts say it's imperative for colleges and universities to use social media to attract students because it's quick and easy, and quick and easy is the way most young consumers operate.
Joining us now to talk more about the internet and some safety issues is Marshall's Chief Information Security Officer, Jon Cutler.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We just saw a story about Facebook, Twitter, all the social media sites, and you handle lots of safety issues for the Marshall community. Tell me a little bit about safety issues and just kind of an overview of what people need to be aware of when they're using the internet.
Sure. This is a great time to ask that question. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and one of the things a lot of folks in IT are focusing on being aware of cybersecurity. Cyber meaning things computer and internet related, and security just protection of information. That may be passwords that you use to log on to get your email. You may use online banking and e-commerce. Here at Marshall, we're very heavily involved with online learning, so 24/7 there's something going on. Folks attending classes, responding to email, chatting. So technology is an important part of everybody's lives. Most adults, they may not have grown up necessarily with internet in education, but now internet is thrust on them, and that's the way they get paid. E-deposits, e-banking, they monitor their investments. Their kids are communicating with them over the internet. So hardly there's any facets of our day-to-day activities that computer and cyber issues don't touch. And so just to be aware of some of the common sense things that we do in the physical world, taking care of locking our houses and car doors and minding our physical assets, we need to do some of those same things in the cyber world.
That's a really good analogy, locking our doors. How do you lock your door, so to speak, with passwords and your security on the internet?
Sure. From a password and logon perspective, everybody's familiar with their username and password on campus. They use that to access, again, everything from email to course registration to getting their grades. Often folks learn, unfortunately, the hard way, the importance of protecting that. People are, in some cases, they'll share that with a friend or a roommate or boyfriend, girlfriend, and then find out after the fact that that has been used in an improper way. And again, just like in the physical world, often folks will not be really sensitive to locking doors and locking their car until they've been broken into, and they feel that sense of violation or vulnerability, and that kind of reinforces it. You don't want someone to have to go through that, and so sometimes information security awareness, that can be a tool that we can use to spare someone having to learn things, the heartache, school of hard knocks.
From a nuts and bolts perspective, should you change your password every few months or every few weeks? What's the protocol for that?
There's a couple different schools of thought there. Important thing is to have a strong password, a password not easily guessed. Having your middle name as a password is not going to be a strong password. If you're a Marshall student, having Go Herd as your password is probably not good. But at the same time, having a 24-character password made of unpronounceable symbols is not going to be effective either, because you're not going to be able to easily remember and use that. And then what's going to happen more likely is that you'll write that down, post that on the front of your computer to make it easy, and it's hard. Password security, often a good tip or good password generation tip is to use a passphrase. Think of a verse of poetry or a song lyric or something, and maybe choose the first letter of each one of the letters in that lyric. And strung together, it looks like, to somebody not familiar with that verse or lyric, it looks like mumbo jumbo, but to you it has personal meaning. But changing your password too frequently also can be a problem, because if you forget it, then you're more likely to choose something not as rigid. So there's a balance between changing it from what may have originally been assigned to you by computing services, and then just using something strong and something safe.
What's the biggest pitfall that college students encounter with use of the internet?
Having too much of a level of trust. Social networking sites, IM, blogging, it's very easy to get a sense of anonymity, or that I can do whatever online and not have repercussions. The problem is, because the internet is worldwide, something that you say in your home or in your residence hall can almost instantly be broadcast around the world, and once it's out on the internet, it's very hard to get back. And so just kind of thinking before you speak, thinking before you post those digital pictures, thinking before you record that video and load it up on YouTube, that some of these things may be around for a long time, and you may not want that to be a good representation of what you are as a person.
Mm-hmm. And another issue that is so apparent these days is scams online. Sure. Of course, there are lots of people who have encountered scammers coming to their front door, but now they encounter them online. Speak to that a little bit, and what that is. Again,
that goes into kind of the sense of trust, and that if you receive an email from somebody, well, of course that has to be from who originally sent that. Often the term that technologists and computer security people use is called phishing. You'll see that spelled a little funny with a PH, and that's kind of a nod towards the hackers that come up with that term. But just as in fishing with an angler, you've got a bait and a lure, and you're trying to snare something. Basically, the fisher is trying to snare personal information. They're trying to get you to reveal your username and password. They may be trying to get you to reveal banking information. We often see emails that arrive on campus purporting to come from help desk. Well, everybody has a help desk, so it's very easy to come up with a template like that, but the email often has some urgency to it. We're in the process of changing the system, so if you don't give us your username and password in 24 to 48 hours, we're going to turn your account off. And what we like to reinforce with folks is that Marshall University, and in most cases, most responsible institutions and organizations, will not ask you to reveal personal information in an email.
Okay. Well, Jon, thank you so much. A lot of information there. And if folks on the Marshall University campus have questions, they can just email you. Sure. Or contact the help desk?
There's a variety of contact points there. They're welcome to contact our IT service desk. They're available on the first floor of the Drinko Library. They can get a hold of the information security team at infosec@marshall.edu, and certainly folks are always welcome to contact me personally, because folks that know me know that I'm not shy about talking. So.
All right, thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And now, before we go to the break, let's meet another member of the Marshall University alumni family. Kelly Pelfrey is a 2006 Marshall University graduate. She's currently a customer service representative for Elizabeth Arden. Kelly lives in Roanoke, Virginia, and enjoys hiking and watching Marshall University athletics. Kelly Pelfrey, another member of the Marshall University family, spreading the word about the herd.
Yeah, we had a pretty good rehearsal today. We blocked Act 2, and no, we're gonna block Act 3 next week, I think.
Are you okay? What's going on?
I can't find the classes I need.
Haven't you tried MU Online?
You can take your classes anywhere, anytime. All you need is a computer.
Really? Yeah, look it up.
I've been looking for this class all week, and now, since it's online, I can take it whenever I want.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Where have you been?
I lost my cat.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back.
Cool. Does it work?
Kinda.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not my cat. I gotta keep working on it. See ya.
See ya.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
On any given day, walking to class is a pretty easy task for a lot of students, Leah, but not for everyone.
October is National Disabilities Awareness Month, and one local television reporter is working to spotlight those issues.
The initial thing was just from a media perspective. We do a lot of stories on people with disabilities, issues, whether it's curb cuts or accessibility to buildings, government, private campuses. And that was my motivation was, well, if I'm going to do stories on things like this, then why not spend a few hours living in their shoes, if you will.
Knowing what people have to go through every day in a wheelchair, and I mean, just the obstacles they have to go through. Let's just say we take granted for walking upstairs. I mean, they have to wait in line or to get in the elevator, go up, and just to maneuver around people. If, like I said earlier, if people cut you off, it kind of aggravates you a little bit.
Definitely helps you to be aware. I mean, just living in this, just dealing with this for the couple of hours that I have has been, figuratively speaking, eye-opening, because you don't realize what people who literally are blind, what they go through, and the difficulties that they have in their everyday lives. And I've only done it for approximately 3 hours, and I mean, it's definitely been a new outlook for me.
Actually, I was surprised about the courtesy in a way. Like, I was trying to go through and get through a door, and someone came up and pushed the door button for me, or I was over here at Myers Hall and I couldn't get through a door, and some young lady came over and opened the door for me and pushed me through the door, just being real nice and courteous.
Me personally, just to be more aware of them whenever I see them, even if it's just introducing myself, even if obviously they can't see me, just letting them know that somebody's there and somebody sees you and somebody acknowledges you. That's one of the main changes I think that I'll be making in my personal life.
These are truly the leaders of tomorrow. So if they are learning at this age what they are capable of doing, not only as students, but when they get into real life, I think it's achieved everything that I'd hoped for. Because these are the people that are going to be setting policies one day. And if they've lived this, it's going to help them down the road.
What a great story.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching We Are Marshall Today. I'm Bill Bissett.
And I'm Leah Edwards.